Give me just a second. We'll start. Sorry for the delay. So it should be better. So we'll start the class right away. Hope you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to share my PowerPoint soon. We are on lecture 200, almost 6 years. So not a good average, I think, but somehow we are going further. Thanks to everyone. A number of people who were there in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita are no longer in this class. A lot of them did not like our approach of actually covering 3 bhashyas, Shankara, Ramanuja, Madhvācārya. So whatever the reasons may be. So with this, we'll start. And as I told you earlier, I will try to answer relevant questions and important questions, time permitting. Ramanujam ji had asked these questions a while ago. And it took me a little while because I had to prepare for these questions. He asked, is yogic experience necessary for Pūrṇa Viśvāsam in jīvātmā, prakriti and Īśvara? What he is trying to say is Pūrṇa Viśvāsa means full trust. Is yogic experience needed for full trust in jīvātmā, prakriti, Īśvara? I'll just open up this question. He also says not having pratyakṣa, that means direct perception of God or jiva or prakriti, will always create a doubt in the mind if whatever is being inferred or read in Śāstra is true or not. So what his meaning is, if you don't actually experience something, it doesn't matter what was said in the Shastras, you'll always have a doubt, oh, is it true or not? Is it true or not? So a yogic experience, is it necessary? So I want you to think about this question a little bit. I'll give a few minutes. Why don't you give your viewpoint on it? I'll ask each one of you. I'm going to put it on this one. A few minutes. Okay, go ahead. Anyone?
So I agree with Ramanujamji because without experience, it's always the same question coming to the mind whether all these things are true or not. It's always the same thing coming to the mind.
Okay. Anybody else? What do you feel?
Viśvāsam is before Pratyakṣa, actually. Unless Pratyakṣam is there, until then we will have to have some Viśvāsa or Śraddhā.
Viśvāsam is needed before Pratyakṣa.
Yeah, initially we are not aware of jīvātmā or Prakriti as such or Paramatma. So we need to have Śraddhā until we get the Pratyakṣa of all these three.
See, what he's saying is, will the Śraddhā be powerful enough? His question is, I still, even if I have Śraddhā, I have doubts. See, there is no question about, there is a pot in front of me. I can take a stick and break the pot. So all these are no questions. I see the pot in front, I have a stick with me, and I know I have broken pots before, and now I can do it. So everything here is, so you have full confidence that this works, right? What about regarding jīvātmā, prakriti, paramatma, and all those things? Even if I have Śraddhā, how do I have Śraddhā? Because I hear from a great Acharya, Guru, whom I trust, and believing in him, saying that I will somehow, believe in everything, right? And say, this is what I have to do, and this is the goal, and this is how I get there. A total belief in, how do you believe in an Acharya? How do you know he is not a fake? Okay. So the thing is, there is a question. Śraddhā is required. No question about it. Even if Śraddhā is there, after Pratyakṣa only, you directly get more Śraddhā, or a power of Viśvāsa. Okay? Viśvāsa is faith. True. I am not arguing against what you say. I'm just explaining to people, that's all. Any other comments about this question? What do you think? Is yogic experience needed before you get full trust? Nobody? Can anybody answer? What do you feel? It's okay to answer whatever comes to your mind. I hear silence. Can you hear me?
I'd say yes. Yogic experience is necessary.
So what do you feel? Do you need yogic experience before you get full faith? That's my question.
Yes, you have to have the experience.
Got to have experience.
You can't get it out of a book.
Yeah. Anybody else? Okay. Let me think about, I was thinking about it too. Okay. So I think it is a little bit of both, in the sense that initially you don't have experience and you can walk away and become an atheist. I don't believe in God, I don't believe in jīvātmā, there is nothing other than matter. You can become an atheist. But you yourself, in your own life, experience pleasure, pain, attachment, affection, and so many emotions. And you know that there's something more than matter, right? So, but you're not sure, but you definitely feel that you exist separate from your body. But you're not sure. That's all, right? So you need so your conviction in jīvātmā, paramatma, Īśvara and all will increase with yoga. But is yoga in here hidden in his question? Ramanujam ji said, what is this yoga? Is yogic experience needed? In his mind, yoga means somebody is sitting there holding his nose or breathing or keeping in some kind of Buddha pose or this pose or something, right? And he has that in mind. That's why I want to give you a yogic answer, which is general purpose. So let me come back to screen sharing.
So
If you
what is
remember-
yogic perspective? What is yogic experience in the first place?
See, yoga means yajur yoga, right? Yajur yoga means connection. Connection means, so far many people, when they say yoga, oh, somebody is sitting and meditating, right? That's what they get, right? Do you agree? Look at this. This is a yoga pose. Somebody is sitting and meditating. That's what is yogic experience. So he has some experience, she has some experience, something. And that's what they say yogic experience. Anyway, so the thing is, I have written here our chakras in our body, where the upper chakra is on the top, the lower chakras are on the bottom. Generally say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Some people say 7, 8, 9 chakras, whatever, it doesn't matter. Right? So the thing is, what happens in our body is your consciousness knowledge improves as you go upper in your spinal cord. That is, there is a consciousness which moves. When it moves, it goes from the lower chakras to the upper chakras. And the lower chakras are for basic instincts, animal instincts, things like that. The upper chakras have more knowledge. There you experience knowledge and divine things beyond matter, suprasensory, right? So the thing is, the yoga people, this is the view of the yogics, right? Yanisha sarvabhutanam yasyam jagrati samyami yasyam jagrati bhutani sanisha pashyato munehe. That is in the Gita, 2nd chapter. So yogis experience some divine life and divine universe, which is darkness for the others. Other people cannot experience that divine experience. So obviously they have some very big different experience from what the earthly experience we have, the usual sensory experience we have. So a person has to have, okay, what is your question, Benji?
Oh, well, when I think of experience, there's the material world experience and there's the divine experience. So,
Yeah, but it occurs to you, right? It occurs to an
right.
individual.
I just wondered if you're referring to one or the other, or you have to have both experiences.
Both. Yes, definitely both.
Both. Okay. Okay.
So the thing is, when a person is in the body, the consciousness rises or goes down constantly. It's like a temperature, every daily temperature or something. It just goes up or comes down, whatever it is. It's just constantly changing. This is where our consciousness changes. The level of knowledge changes, right? Somebody in a stupor stage or sleeping stage or something, then the consciousness may go down a little bit, okay, or more, and then go up. For some people, the average of where that consciousness exists may be higher. Some people it may be lower. This is constantly happening. Let's go further.
I have another question. Do you consider consciousness and awareness the same thing? I don't, but I'm just...
Okay, so the thing is, think about consciousness and awareness as awareness is the expression of consciousness. See, here consciousness...
Okay, that's the way I look at it, but
okay,
consciousness is divine.
Here consciousness is Caitanya. See, unfortunately, English doesn't have good words for it. Caitanya is the Chetana. Chetana is the conscious one. Okay? The conscious one raises inside the body. That is the center of consciousness. But awareness is different. Awareness also increases as it goes upward and it becomes purer as the seat of awareness raises. Okay?
Okay. Well, I typically, when I meditate, I see consciousness as something coming from the divine, and it illuminates my mind and intellect where I have awareness of whatever's around me or something I want to focus on.
See, different yogis have different ways of experience, okay? There is no doubt about that. There is no commonality there.
And the awareness to me is it's my senses, my material mind has awareness.
It doesn't matter. Even when divine or consciousness comes in, you're still aware. Not just to the external world. Okay, but that is a different question. What you're saying is, when the awareness goes away, that is the external sensory awareness goes away, there is some kind of a divine thing takes over. Maybe that is true.
Well, some people can have consciousness but no awareness.
See, you're making an assumption that awareness is also always about material things, right? That is not what is intended here. Awareness could be also spiritual, aware of yourself in a very, very high level beyond the matter. That's also possible. Okay. Awareness of Krishna, awareness of the object of meditation is also awareness. That is beyond sensory awareness. So awareness is general purpose.
I just see it as a function of intellect and mind, which is material.
Not true. Oh, this is a what do you call Advaita view of it. In Advaita, awareness is not related to a substratum. That is even Atman as Paramatma or the only Brahman in the Advaita, right? The Brahman does not have awareness of other things. What is there? In the Advaita, Brahman is sitting on the side, not doing anything, not knowing anything. Brahman cannot know. But Brahman makes other people know. So there is an imaginary assumed jīvātmā who seem to know, a mind which is just a tool, but it gets the reflection from the what do you call conscious, the Brahman, and then it appears to know. All the aspects of knowing, doing, thinking, experiencing, everything is kshetra in Advaita. Kshetra means matter in Advaita, field of knowledge. So the thing is, there all awareness is only about non-God or non-Brahman. That is a different, that may be your experience. Okay, I'm not denying it. But that is not the definition we are using it here. Awareness is, there can be a jīvātmā which is constant and everlasting, and that everlasting jīvātmā can have awareness of itself, about the external world, also about God.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Next, let's go this further. So this is one thing. Here, this is just a representation of a human being. Don't take it seriously. Somebody wrote this up. I didn't write this up. I picked it up from some book. So what it is there are 14 words. What this yogic theory is the 14 words are contained within you. So the lower chakras and lower levels are like Patala, Mahatala, Rasatala, Tala, Sutala, Talatala, Sutala, Vitala, Atala, mūlādhāra, svādhiṣṭhāna. So till the mūlādhāra chakra, these are lower worlds, lower lives. So that is the seat of malice, consciencelessness, selfishness, prolonged confusion, retaliatory jealousy, raging anger, fear, or lust. All these things are lower animal instincts. These are lower. And all these worlds are within you. That's what they say. And the chakras of mūlādhāra, svādhiṣṭhāna, as you go upper, memory, reason, willpower, direct cognition, divine love, divine sight, illumination, realization, all these things happen right within your body, according to yoga. That means there is some Kuṇḍalinī Śakti which rises, and that basically takes you from lower animal instincts towards spiritual awareness and spiritual realization. That's what this picture indicates. And the chakras here are mentioned as mūlādhāra, svādhiṣṭhāna, maṇipūra, anāhata, viśuddha, ājñā, and sahasrāra. These are sahasrāra, and these are the chakras within our body. So the shift of consciousness will tell you where you are, right? Now next. Okay, this is an important, have I shown this picture to you earlier? Has anybody, do you remember this picture I showed? Nobody remembers?
Yes, it seems you have shown this earlier, yes.
Correct. So what here clearly I have mentioned is all paths, that is prapatti, that is śaraṇāgati or surrender, bhakti-yoga, which involves navadhā-bhakti, that is all the 9 forms of bhakti, that is listening, doing kirtanas, worshipping in temples, having bhajan sessions in temples, and singing, dancing for the purpose in love, that is worship as a form of worship. Karma yoga, sāṅkhya-yoga, and many other yogas, all of them, including when I mentioned nāmasaṅkīrtana, bhajans, rituals, yajñas, everything work on your Kuṇḍalinī. Everything will operate on your Kuṇḍalinī, right? And that Kuṇḍalinī can flow through the spinal cord up and down, and that so the upward movement is towards release or realization. The downward movement will make it more bound and more animal in nature. It's like lower level of existence. This is universally true. So you don't have to do yoga does not mean that you're in a sitting pose in some kind of a Padmasana pose or something and then doing yoga. Yoga includes all of them. Yoga, in fact, it is a very good question, because in the 4th chapter, if we have time today, we will look into the different types of karma yogas. And that karma yoga, Madhvācārya has a similar view on it compared to Rāmanujacārya. So all these things are yogas only, but a different kind of yoga. Different kind of karma yoga. So, so without yoga, you will not be able to get perfect viśvāsa or perfect faith. It's true in a way, but yoga can include any of these. Is it understood? Any questions on it?
But faith.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Faith is not an intellectual thing. It's more mind oriented. If direct experience, if one has a direct experience, then he knows. He doesn't need to have faith after that.
See, faith will increase. Faith will increase the work towards that direction. Do you understand? So when you say direct experience, perfect experience of the God, what do you call? Till he get moksha, he needs faith, right? He needs to go further. It depends on what level, which level that person is. Direct experience it's not a one single digital yes or no. Direct experience itself has levels of direct experience, right?
So when we say yogic experience, how does one determine the level then?
That person will know only when he talks to other yogis and Shastras. In the Shastra, there are levels of yogic experience explained in different Shastras. Yoga Shastra has a lot of experiences explained, given. One has to study Yoga Shastras. And also...
Then does that imply that lower level direct experience increases faith, like you say? And
No.
Only after final experience, it is known and
Correct.
Not faith anymore.
Correct, exactly. So faith and yogic improvement or levels of improvement go hand in hand. Okay. See, the thing is, now, for example, let's just tell you a simple situation. If people are totally involved in matter, pleasure, all they will be planning to do is, oh, where is my next show I need to watch on television? Oh, should I go outside? Should I go for a joyride, swimming, or dancing? So the person would be planning on only some activity which relates to the senses, right? Physical experience. Then a person says, oh, whatever I do, I'm not very happy. So I should find something where it gives more happiness. So that is a person who looks for something, right? Because he's got some faith in it that, oh, this doesn't seem to work out for me. So it's something else. Then he goes further and says, yeah, this is the nature of myself is different. Further he goes, yes, I can even feel God. Then he goes further and further and say, oh, I can really see God. Then he will be like Prahlada or Dhruva or great, Gopikas and other people who have higher and higher level of knowledge of the Lord. So knowledge and interaction, experience, everything changes, right? So faith, yoga, action, all these things are combined together. They go step by step. One leads to the other leads to the other, kind of thing. Okay, Vainji, what is your question?
Well, it's probably a real novice question, but I've heard of Kuṇḍalinī for probably the last 40 or 50 years, because I started practicing yoga way back 40, 50 years ago. And I never quite understood how you do it, or whether it's something deliberate or it just happens, or how does it feel? Is it physical, or is it just mental? Or I've just never quite understood it. In studying the Patanjali, he kind of plays it down as not being really necessary, to my recollection, as being just part of it.
No. See, Patanjali does not want to give you higher level of steps. He only gives it up to the Kaivalya, or separation from matter. Okay, and so all the acharyas in the Vedic tradition agree with Patanjali. Only thing is, Patanjali is incomplete. Patanjali is a basic, fundamental, graduate level yoga. Okay.
Well, that's
after
fine.
You have the postgraduate level, postdoc level, doctorate level, postdoc level. All these levels are there beyond it.
It's just a beginner level. Okay, that's fine.
Beginner,
I just don't understand.
I wouldn't say it is beginner. Please, it is advanced level only, graduate level. Beginner means you will say first grade or kindergarten or something. No, not necessarily. It may go further and further up to the like graduate level. Okay.
Krishna, often you'll be quoting one verse from Mundaka Upanishad, I think. Vidyate Hridaya Granthani. Can you please repeat that? I think that contains everything.
See, Vidyate Hridaya Granthi, छिद्यन्ते अस्य संशयाः क्षीयन्ते अस्य पापानि तस्मिन्
कर्माणि
Huh?
क्षीयन्ते अस्य कर्माणि.
Some people say papani karmani, both may work. I have to check the original. I'm not sure. Right? Kshiyante
Original is karmani, only original.
Kshiyante asya karmani. Maybe. Kshiyante asya karmani. Tasmin drishte paravare. Only when.
So I think this shloka is very clear that all the doubts are cut, and finally, when we see the truth beyond everything.
True. Only when you see God, you have no doubts. So, but there are hundreds of karmas and papas and everything like that, right? So I think thousands of it, right? The thing is, there is always a gradual improvement, but perfect closure and a perfect release only happens when you directly realize Paramatma. Tasmin drishte. That only then. I hope Ramanujamji understood what I'm telling here. Okay, I'll go further. All I want to mention here is the traditional yoga, which is the Gayatri, Nāda, Jyoti. These are all mentioned in the Yoga Shastras. But in the, it is just a ritual or religion which says that, okay, somebody got initiated into Gayatri. There will be a function, there will a lot of people come in, and there will be a priest, and father is supposed to give Gayatri mantra to the son, things like that. These are all like, social organizational things. But that doesn't mean that all these things come in. Only very, very, very great yogis can give Gayatri to some other person. And that can turn into a real spiritual realization in the form of Nāda and Jyoti, which are all explained in the Yoga Shastras. So the next question he asked was, as every action's seed is caused by Purva Samskara, even a practitioner of Karma Yoga whose samskaras are being burnt at a great rate is not free. So till one attains moksham, every action, feeling and thoughts cause is Purva Samskaras. So prior samskaras will make you forcibly to do something. So the prior actions and knowledge will rule your future actions and knowledge. That's what he means. So does it mean we will be only receiving moksha when we are scripted to by Īśvara? True. Yes. Karmadhyaksha sarvabhutadivasaha. He is Karmadhyaksha. He is the manager of all actions of everyone, right? Īśvara. So he scripts our moksha. He says, moksha, bandhahetuhu. There is a Shvetashvetara verse which says he is the ordainer of moksha and also bandha. He is the one who puts you into bondage, and he is the one who will release you from bondage. It is scripted by Īśvara, sure. Next question. Does this cause inaction and sense of loss of existence? It greatly jeopardizes notion of jiva as an entity who can know. It could be made to know Brahman only at a pre-decided time, through a pre-decided mode, and having jigyasa or interest in knowing, desire to know, emerging only at a pre-decided time. Yes. But only I would say the pre-decided is wrong word. There is no pre-decision. The decision is made by God. It is not pre-decided, but Brahman decided. So all these things, without Brahman, you cannot get it. So it will not cause inaction. That's also wrong. Because there is, Jīvātmā is not completely bound. Jīvātmā gets freedom from Paramatma. So God gives jīvātmā some freedom. So the freedom is not freedom is not his own or jīvātma's own. It is a given freedom. So using the given freedom, the person can it does not jeopardize the notion of jiva or an entity. Have you seen any atheist having a problem? Atheist has plans. An atheist will plan out constantly. He doesn't feel that he does not exist. Even an atheist feels that, oh, I have a purpose, I have action to do, I got these things to work on. That doesn't, nobody is jeopardized. Of course, atheist does not know it's very simple to understand. Any atheist probably doesn't notice it. His lungs are working not because of him, it was given to him. His mind, his brains, the brain may have 100 billion neurons or 1 trillion neurons or something. All of them are working not because of him. Consciously, he is not making every neuron work, does not make breathing, seeing, perceiving, all are happening even to an atheist. He doesn't recognize it. If he can say that is nature, matter makes it happen, then that's fine too. And there's nothing wrong in assuming that matter. Only thing is the matter is too powerful and there's a God hiding in the matter, which he doesn't care about. That's fine. All right. I think I answered all of your questions. Now, if there are nothing to discuss, I can start from 4:15 and go straight into it. We are already 7:43 now. We have covered, I think we have covered a lot of time now, probably spent a lot of time. I started a little late, maybe 7:10, and now we have finished already 23 minutes. We should go fast, maybe. Okay, well, so forget about the questions. If you have any questions, you make a note of it. We'll talk about it later. Okay, now, Sri Bhagavan Vacha, this is the fourth chapter, 15th shloka. Evam jnatva kritam karma purvairapi mumukshubhihi kuru karmaiva tasmatvam purvaihi purvataram kritam. Krishna is telling to Arjuna, knowing this, what was said earlier, people who were desirous of moksha are released from this bondage of bondage, released from bondage, who would like to be released from bondage, who wanted to get out of this cycle of birth and death, were doing karma. Knowing this, they were doing karma. What did they know? They know something about Krishna. 1 second. The previous verse is 14. Namam karmani limpanti name karma palaya spraha itimam yobhijanati karma bihi na sabadhyate. What this means is, Krishna says, the karmas do not taint me. Karmas do not bother me. And I don't have any interest in the fruits of karma. And whoever knows me and knows this aspect of me, karma bihi na sabadhyate. He or she will not be bound by karma. So this is the next verse, 15, which we talked about. Evam jnatva ghritam karma purvairapi mumukshubhihi kuru karmaiva tasmatvam purvaihi purvataram kritam. Knowing this, the people of yore, people long time back did karmas. Hence, you do karmas like how the other people did. That is the idea of this shloka. So here, the Madhvācārya says, Karmanaiva hi samsiddhim astita janakadayah. There is a precursor, Shishtachara, in doing vihita karma. That means Janaka and other people in the olden time, though they were capable of doing jnana and everything like that, they did karma only. So there is a vihita karma, there is a Shishtachara, means there is a tradition of people doing prescribed duties. But there it is not indicated that jnanis also should do karma. But many people have different views on this shloka. Some people think that Janaka was a jnani, but here he says, where is it said that jnanis also have to do karma? Because Shankara Bhashya assumes that jnanis don't need to do karma. Shankara Bhashya says, once you become a jnani, you can give up all karma. Here it is indicated that even jnanis perform karma. So even the knowledgeable people, jnanis also perform karma, is said in this shloka. That's what Madhvācārya is saying. I had a doubt which I have not solved. See, in Madhvācārya it is assumed whoever knows Paramatma or Krishna as not being tainted by actions, and then he is not interested in any fruits of action, that person is considered as a jnani in Madhvācārya. I was a little doubtful about why should we consider that as a jnani, because there are other definitions for jnani, so why should we have this as the definition of jnani? But well, there may be an assumption saying that whoever knows Krishna, that means that person would be familiar with Krishna, means he's a jnani, maybe that's how we assume. So whatever may be, it's not a very powerful doubt, but I wanted to clear it for myself and I'm not sure about it. Even, so why should we assume that knowing this aspect of Krishna, one becomes a Pūrṇa or a complete jnani? I don't know. I don't know. I checked the Madhvācārya, it is not addressed there. Maybe I'm missing something. Next shloka. Sri Bhagavan Vacha, Krishna says, Kim karma kima karmeti kavayopyatra mohitaha tatte karma pravakshami yajñātmā mokṣase shubhāt. People are confused about what is karma, what is akarma, and what is vikarma. So the thing is, vikarma is not mentioned here. Karma and akarma, people are, even kavis, even knowledgeable people are deluded. And I will tell you karma, knowing which you will be released of all problems. Karma kuru ityuktam. So what was earlier said is do, this is the Madhvācārya. Do work was said earlier in Madhvācārya, or earlier in Gita. Tasya karmana durgyayatvam samyak vaktum iti kim karma. So here in the shloka, karma is very subtle. People cannot understand what karma is. It's very difficult to understand karma. That's what is said in the 16th shloka. Sri Bhagavan Vacha, 17th shloka. Karmano kyapi bodhavyam cha vikarmanaha akarmanasya bodhavyam gahana karmano gatihi. Here it says, one should know karma, one should know vikarma, one should know akarma. Gahana karmano gatihi. The path of karma, knowledge of karma, the subject of karma is very difficult to understand. Bodhavyam means one should know. Na kevalam tadnyātmā mokṣase jñātvaiva ityāśayavānaha. So the thing is, in the past shloka, emam jñātvā kritam karma pūrvairapi mokṣvihi kuru karma, not that, the previous one. Oops. This one. Namam karmani limpanti name karma pale spruha iti mam yo bhijanati karma vihina sabhadyate. So the person who knows this will not be bound. So only by knowing it is not sufficient. That's what he says. Okay, obviously now I got the answer for my own question. So knowing, that is not a paripurna jnani. He is not a complete jnani there. That is not enough. Na kevalam tadnyātmā mokṣase. It is not enough to know that. Jñātvaiva ityāśayavānaha. Only when you know, you can go. That is, he is the person who is capable of getting out of problems. Okay. Karmano hyapi bodhavyam. So this is where he says, karma should be understood. Karmana iti. Tacha uktam ajñātvā bhagavan kasya karma akarma vikarmakam darshanam yatihi mune kuto muktischa tadvina. So, say, if a person has to know karma, akarma and vikarma, knowing God is enough. If we need to, is necessary. Knowing Krishna is only, you can know karma, akarma and vikarma. Without knowing Krishna, you cannot. So who can know karma, akarma, vikarma without knowing Bhagavan? This is what he said. Darshanam yatihi muni kuto muktisya tadvina. So moksha cannot come to a person who does not know Bhagavan, and hence because he does not know karma, akarma and vikarma. It's very clear. And this is a statement Madhvācārya picks up from some place. Akarma means not doing actions. Karma akaranam, not doing actions is akarma. Karma, so each acharya, Shankaracharya, Madhvācārya, Nāmasaṅkīrtana have different views about this shloka. You go and refer to my prior lectures to figure out what does Ramanujacharya think, what does Shankaracharya think, what does then you will know. By the way, this may be of some interest to Vainji. When I was reading the book he gave me, written by Mukundananda on Gita, I found out that in general, Mukundananda follows Jagadguru Kripalu Maharaj, and Kripalu Maharaj, Gita Bhashya looks very similar to Ramanuja Bhashya. I was noticing that because even Prabhupada's initial first 6 chapters, the first 6 chapters of Gita as explained by Prabhupada looks similar to Madhu Bhashya. And I was noticing that Kripalu Maharaj Bhashya looks closer to Ramanuja Bhashya even from the very beginning. I think so. This is a rough statement. I will look deeper and let you know if there is any major change. The only change I found was in Sarvadharman Parityajya, JKP Jagadguru Kripal Maharaj, what he says is, he says giving up karma is okay. So you have to give up karma. Actions themselves totally have to be given up. That is the view of Kripal Maharaj, but that is not the view of Ramanujacharya. Only you give up the fruits of action, you never give up actions. That is the Ramanuja Bhashya. So one small change I saw it. Just this is the generic talk. Okay. Tato vivichya karmadi bodhavyam iti ityadi nacha shapadina. So the very subject of karma, vikarma, akarma is subject is difficult to understand. Not because somebody has a shapa or curse or something like that. It is not so easily knowable because of the very nature of the subject which is so difficult. That is why intelligent ones are also deluded about it. Ashakyam che jnatum ityaha gahana. It's very difficult to know this. Karmapi no namatta iti bodhavyam ityadi. Okay, here Madhvācārya uses a different kind of Sanskrit. Okay, there is some words which says Brahmana Indra Upayahi is there. Here the na means na, the small na, like this, right? So, but it becomes na because of some Sanskrit. So so here, similar to that, here karmanaha, actually it should be karmanaha, the small na, right? The karmanaha means 6th vibhakti, that is of karma, that is the karmasya, the 6th vibhakti. That is, there is another meaning Madhvācārya does using this kind of breaking, karmanaha. So what it means is vikarmanaha, akarmanaha, instead of naha, he uses naha. So thing is, what does this karmanaha, vikarmanaha, akarmanaha means? Oh, please know that karma is because of me. Krishna is telling Arjuna, karma occurs because of me, akarma occurs because of me. Vikarma occurs because of me. That you should know. You should know that they are all dependent on me. That's a second meaning Madhvācārya gives. Okay. Shri Bhagavan Vacha 4:18 continuing Gita. Karmani akarma yah pashyete akarmani jai karmayah sabuddhiman manusyeshu sayuktaha krishna karma krit. Definitely, Gita is tough to understand because the words can be understood in different ways because Sanskrit is flexible. Karmani akarmaya pashyete. One who sees akarma in karma and one who sees karma in akarma. Sabuddhiman manusheshu. He is the intelligent one among people. Sayuktaha. He is established in yoga. And Krishna karma kriti. He has done everything that needs to be done. So this is the meaning of it. Madhvācārya takes it. Karma is slightly differently. Karma is swarupamaha. What is the nature of karma? Karmani kriyamane sati akarmaya pashyet. While doing karma, one should understand akarma here means Vishnu. He says akarmaya pashyet means Vishnu. He is the real doer of actions. Okay. Naham chit pratibimbaha kinchit karomiti. I am not doing anything because I am the image of reflection of Vishnu. The reflection is just dependent on the object that is Vishnu. So I am not doing anything. Actions are being performed by Vishnu. That is how one should understand. That means Vishnu is responsible for all my actions. Without Vishnu, I am not able to act. Akarmani sutyadav akaranavasthayam. When akarmani means during this phases of deep sleep or stupor or swooning, like losing consciousness. During this time, Parameshwarasya yaha karma pashyati. Oh, God is doing all the work. He is making sure I am breathing still. Somehow I am surviving. So he is acting. Ayameva parameshwaraha sarva srishti adikaroti. So this Lord Vishnu is doing everything in all stages. If that person thinks he is the right kind of a person. Sabuddhiman jnani, he is an intelligent one, he is a jnani. Sayevacha yukto yoga yuktaha, he is established in yoga. Sarvakarnat sayevacha krishna karma krite krishna palatvat. See, he is the doer behind all actions and he is the giver of all the fruits too. He's pretty much everything, he is the boss. Gita Tatparya, another form, work of Madhvācārya, Karmani Jive. So you can take it slightly differently here. Karmani could be taken as Jiva. Madhvācārya plays on the Sanskrit a lot, right? So Karmani could also refer to Jiva or Jiva, individual self. Asvatantriyada akarma, because Jiva is not independent, he is not doing any work. Karma vidhi palayorho abhavat akarmani Vishnu. So he can see akarma could also refer to Vishnu, where because he is not subject to any rules and regulations of do this and do not do this kind of a thing. So he is beyond all rules and regulations. When we can call him akarma, swatantriyata sarvakartritvam. So the thing is, because he is the only independent, Vishnu is the independent one. Nobody else is independent, right? Nothing is independent. No one else. So he is the real doer, the agent behind every action. Karosmin miyate iti karma. He uses, how can karmani mean jiva? He says in Sanskrit, you can take it in this way. Karo asmin miyate iti karma. Jiva udaharta. Karaha, the sakaranta shabda. Karaha means karma or karma vidhi. The thing is, karma vidhi means the rules and regulations, injunctions of the Shastras. The injunctions of the Shastras only refer to jiva. So karmani should refer to jiva. That is the way of understanding. So Sanskrit is very complicated. Okay. We are not even touching the surface of this competition. That is why one needs to know Panini grammar, Shiksha, Chandas, Baham, Patanjali Bhasha. Only then they can understand Sanskrit. Sanskrit is very complicated. Vidishabdena amitatvat akarma Bhagavan. So Bhagavan is not subject to any rules and regulations, do's and don'ts. Hence he is known as akarma. He is Hari. Kara iti sakarantaha adrishtavachi. Kara is also adrishta is known as unseen. Kriyavachiva or action. Tadadhinatvat. So jiva becomes subject to injunctions. In Pancharatra text, jiva is very clearly mentioned as karma itself in many places. Krishna paravatvat Krishna karma krit. Paravatvat Krishna karma krit. So the thing is, paravatvat means it gives fruits. That is, Krishna is the giver of fruits. That is why he is the Krishna karma krit. He is the doer of all actions. Sri Bhagavan, it continues, the fourth chapter continues. 419. Yasya sarve samarambhaha kama sankalpa varjitaha jnanagdidhagda karmanam tamahu panditam bhudaha. Yasya sarve samarambhaha, whose every activity of a person, if that person, those activities do not or not originated because of desire or willful planning. Jnanagdidhagda karmanam tamahu panditam buddhaha. That activity which is purified by jnana, well clarified by jnana, approved by jnana, that person is pandita. Even the intelligent calls them pandita, means he knows the stuff. Pandit, right? So all actions of the pandit will not have any planning or desire. And it will be done only according to the true knowledge. This is the meaning of the shloka. Etadeva prapanchayati yasya ityadi shloka panchakena ukta prakarena jnana agni dagdha karmanam. Etadeva prapanchayati. Okay, before I forget, I want to say something to Vainji. Vainji said that, in his meditations, if his awareness of the external world goes away, purely God's awareness comes. This is not wrong. Only thing is, the other school, that is the other Dvaita schools and Viśiṣṭhā schools are talking about is, when you are not aware of yourself, it is not that you don't exist. You exist, but you are not connected to the external world through mind and senses. You are still connected to God. So there is nothing wrong with that state. It is not an error, but it is a philosophical difference, that's all. Okay, now, come back to this verse. Etadeva prapanchayati yasya ityadi shloka panchakena. So the next 5 verses, this same information is explained in clear statement. Ukta prakarena jnana agdidhagda karmanam. What does this, the actions, whose actions are burnt by jnana, what does it mean? This is explained further. Sri Bhagavan Vacham. Tyaktva karma phala sangam nitya tripto anirashrayaha karmanyabhipravrittopi naiva kinchit karoti saha. See this word nitya tripto anirashrayaha. This is how Madhvācārya takes. Other two Acharya says nitya tripto nirashrayaha. They break it here in the other two. So the same word, when it appears like this, it can have 2 different ways it has 2 different meanings. Anirashrayaha, nirashrayaha. Nirashrayaha means without any support. Anirashrayaha means not having no support. So certainly having a support. So there are two different understandings here. Tyaktva karmapala sangam, giving up the connection with karma and the fruits of karma, actions. Connection with actions or the fruits of action and the fruits of actions. Giving up everything. That I'm not the agent, the fruits of the actions do not belong to me. If this is the attitude, that person is nitya tripta, he is eternally satisfied. Anirashraya means he does have support. He is supported by Īśvara. Karmani abhipravrittopi naiva kinchit karoti saham. Even though if that person is doing any kind of actions, that is, he is verily acting, but he is not acting. Why? The fruits of actions do not go back to him. The effects of action do not taint him. That's right. So, nacha kama sankalpa abhavena alam. So, just giving up planning and desires is not enough. Asangam sneham cha tyaktva. You should not be attached to actions at all. That is sangha. You should give up sangha. Sneha means attachment. Attachment should be given up. Jnana surupamaha punaha nityatriptaha iti. The nature of knowledge is explained here, that you are ever satisfied. Nityatripta. Nityatripta anirashraye ashvarasa rupo asmi iti tathavidaha. Sorry, nityatripta nirashraya Īśvara saruposmi iti tathavidaha. So I am similar to God who does not have any support. Nirashraya. Nityatripta. He is eternally happy and he does not have any support. So that is Īśvara. I am similar to Īśvara. That's what he thinks. So this is another way of understanding the shloka. So sarupa means pratibimba, similar. So sarupa is sarupa. Īśvara sarupo osmiti tathavidaha. Sarupa means similar or like the image. Anirashrayo bhagavadāśrayatvat. Why do you say anirashraya? There is another statement in some other book. Anirashrayo bhagavadāśrayatvat. So thing is, anirashraya means, or not without any support means, because he has the support of Īśvara Bhagavan. Muktasya svatantrya abhimanat. The thing is, this should be understood as slightly differently. Svatantrya abhimanat muktasya. Reverse order. Svatantrya abhimanat muktasya. So thing is, one who is bereft of independent attitude. So everybody thinks that they are independent. That is wrong. You should not feel that you are independent. You should, if you know truth, you know that you are dependent. Only one independent is Krishna only. Sri Bhagavan Vach. What is the time now? 8:10 now. I think this is the right time to stop. Tomorrow evening we will continue at 8 p.m. and I'll continue with Nirashihi Yatachittatma Tyakta Sarva Parigraha Shariram Kevaram Kalma Kurvan Apnoti Kilbisham. We're done with the shloka 421 today. What I will do is I'll stop and wait for a few questions if you have any. I can take up like 2 or 3 questions. Was this class useful? Ramanujamji, were you happy your questions were solved, or you're unhappy that you don't like the answers? Yes, okay, thank you. Any more questions on this? Any comments? Complaints? Feedback?
So akarmani here means Vishnu, right? According to Madhvācārya.
It could mean Vishnu and also non-action. Both are allowed in Madhvācārya.
Okay.
Okay, Adiji is asking, is it all predetermined for Madhvācārya? I don't believe so, but I can check, and in a way is predetermined. See, I'm sure he says it is determined by God. See, don't use the word predetermined. Predetermined is fatalistic. Fatalistic means everything is predetermined. It's time-wise. So that does not give any need for God. God is a person who interacts with people. In 18th chapter, he uses agency. I have to check. That is why I don't know the clear view of Madhvācārya yet. I have to check it. What does Madhvācārya think about free will, determinism, free will and all? I don't know. I have to clearly check it. Can't answer this question. What else? Okay then. Asmat Gurubhyo Namaha. Asmat Brahma Gurubhyo Namaha. Asmat Sarva Gurubhyo Namaha. Shri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha. Shri Lakshmi Nrsimha Parabrahmane Namaha. Shri Lakshmi Hayavadana Parabrahmane Namaha. Shri Krishna Parabrahmane. Tomorrow morning class will not be there. Tomorrow evening class 8 p.m. Okay. That will be Indian time, 27th of April, evening 8 p.m. That will be in America. It will be Sunday morning in America. Okay. Sarvam Shri Krishna.
Namaskaram.
Namaskaram.